I'm back in my old stomping grounds here in Southwest Florida, this time with the very practical Nissan Frontier. Yes, we just got a redesign for 2022, and I drove the Pro 4X on the channel a few months back, but this, what we have here, is a little bit more practical. This is a cheaper model coming in around 36 grand. This is only two-wheel drive, mind you. Now, we have the crew cab here, 4 drawers, full cabin, and we also have the longer bed. This is a 6-foot bed, lots of space. I'll give you guys an idea. On the cargo, this is the SV grade, and we have that nice bed liner in here from the factory. You also have a household plug in there, up to 400 watts, and some lights inside the bed as well. Nice little feature. Well, we have the nice closing and opening of the tailgate here, so it's like assisted when you get to here. It like wants to help you close it. We have the new Nissan logo, Frontier stamped into the tailgate there. We also have this step. Yes, I don't know why I would use my hand, but you can push this down to help get yourself up, but I don't know why you would need that when you have this. So if you guys, maybe if you're towing something, and the towing capacity is a little over 6,200 pounds. 17-inch wheels on this SV grade. Base is 16-inch wheels, same engine as any other Frontier, 3.8 liter, 310 horsepower. A little over 280 pound-feet of torque. We also do not have tow hooks on the front. I thought that was a little bit disappointing. Also, unlike the Pro 4X and the two-wheel drive Pro X model, we don't have the upgraded headlights. These don't look bad, they just don't look fancy by any means. I like how we have a Frontier on the top of the bezel of the grille, new Nissan logo on the front. We'll get on the inside, and it's a pretty plain Jane experience in here. And that doesn't bother me. This truck in a lot of ways reminds me of my grandma's old pickup truck in the 90s. It was a little Dodge Dakota red, same color as well, essentially the same color as this truck. You can also get another red on this truck. It's a premium color called Cardinal Red. But anyways, back to this vehicle. We have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay standard on this 8-inch screen. The Pro 4X has a 9-inch screen. Now what's nice, we have USB-C, USB-A, parking sensors in the back. I love the knobs for climate control. We also have fan control. Love the knobs for volume. And yes, the volume knob and tuning knob feel pretty cheap like they did on the Pro 4X. These feel much higher quality down here, very substantial, but these feel pretty chintzy. Screen is perfect for me. I don't need the 9-inch screen. They do the same thing. We don't have the upgraded Fender audio system. We don't have a sunroof in here. That would have been a real nice feature. Pretty basic rear view mirror, very minimal. I like small rear view mirror so I can see more out of the front of the window. We have radar cruise control and this nice leather wrapped steering wheel. Nice MID behind the steering wheel as well. It's going to give you plenty of information, averaging 19 miles per gallon over the last like 390 miles, so pretty good fuel economy here. This also has an off-road setting, which it's a 4x2 model, so I don't know, and it's just kind of baked in from the Pro 4X model, so that's kind of cool that you have like a gyroscope in here for roll and pitch angles. This is where your 4-wheel drive control would be, and yes, you can get this SV long wheelbase 6-foot bed with 4-wheel drive. Of course, this model just doesn't have it, and it's really not needed in Southwest Florida for the most part. Here is your toggle for the AC 120 volt, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead in the back seat. Yes, auto rolling down front left or front driver's seat window, but the rest of them are all manual. And also in this SV grade we get power windows or power mirror so nothing that special there. Let's go and get in the back seat, and yes, cloth seats if I didn't mention that. If we get in through here, this was a little bit of a disappointment. This doesn't seem to be working properly, so if I fold this up, it like comes right back down. So if I let go, it doesn't stick. That side will stick up. So you do have cargo underneath here, and you can fold this down if you want. So yes, and you can also put child seats back here. There's your latch. And you have a sliding window back here. Nothing too crazy, pretty functional. We do have a couple map pockets on each side, and one of my favorite things if you're bringing people along is that, yes, I have my other GoPro, my drive cam plugged into the car, so we have USB-C, USB-A, and this is where you can plug in a laptop up to 400 watts through that 120 volt. In front of me, I do have about an inch of room, and luckily this is soft, so I can kind of push into a little bit, but the headroom's actually really, really good back here. I probably have like 2 to 3 inches of headroom above me. I would say I'm pretty comfortable, but I'm sitting like straight upright, so I wouldn't want to be in here for a long time unless I'm traveling. I can sit across like this. This is super comfortable and roomy. We also have this little dome light in the back, but I think it's time to go ahead and start driving, and we need to pick up some sand actually for the kids' play box. So let's get on the road. Thrown into drive, this shifter looks like it's taken straight out of the Sentra. It's not that high quality. Fortunately, we do have a nice leather portion at the bottom of the boot, but we're just gonna start driving, and I love driving this pickup truck. I feel like I want to be extra lazy in it, even though you have this 3.8 liter. There you go. Like, it's effortless acceleration in this pickup truck. If you want to see a 0 to 60 around the Pro 4X model, go and check that out. It's actually quicker in two-wheel drive than it is in four-wheel drive. But the torque delivery is good, 280 pound-feet. The new 9-speed automatic is really good in here. The brake feel, as I get into the brakes, just feel perfectly dialed in for a vehicle like this. I guess I'm gonna go here. The steering is one of my favorite in any pickup truck. It just feels so tight and stiff. Now, a lot of people might not like that. They might like a more loose and easy to live with steering wheel, but I love how hefty the steering wheel feels, because it kind of communicates, hey, this is a real truck. This is a heavy, purpose-built, everyday truck that it doesn't need to hide behind a real loose steering wheel and pretend it's like a luxury car. And it is a very quiet truck, and I'm going at pretty low speeds, but even with the Pro 4X model with the big knobby tires on it, like, I thought that was a pretty quiet truck. This is taking a step further because, well, one, we don't have a sunroof, so there's not going to be, you know, extra noise reverberating off the top glass. I could hear some birds right there, but otherwise it's a very, very quiet truck, and it is enjoyable just to be in. Ride quality, it's good. I wouldn't say it's luxury quality by any means, but this is a work truck first and foremost with leaf springs in the back. As you guys know, it's hot here in Florida all the time. It's 91 right now, 11:30. It's pretty much going to stay this temperature for the next 8 hours, it feels like. But the AC in here does a really good job cooling it down. It is kind of loud when you need to crank the fans, but what do you expect in a trunk? Also, there are no vents in the back to cool down the rear passengers, so that's unfortunate. And just sitting here idling at the stoplight, I do get a good vibration, not in a good way, but like a good amount of vibration coming through the whole vehicle. The whole vehicle is kind of shaking and shuddering just in an idle. So I kind of just put it into neutral. In 95% of those vibrations just disappear because you don't have power going to the drive shaft. So if this is my truck, I feel a little bit like my dad and coming to a neutral all the time at a stop. But you know, if it helps keep the vibrations down, I'm all for it. Let's see if we can pass this other Nissan here, this Rogue, and we do have a blind spot monitor. So I want to see it fire it up. Yep, it's right on the edge of the mirror there. It's kind of like an amber, sorry, like a blood orange color. Most blind spot monitors are like an amber, like a yellow, but this one's like a dark orange / red. So it's easy to see. It's easy for people on the road to see that they know that they're in your blind spot, if that makes sense. Now, I mentioned this does have radar cruise control. This isn't going to affect this car that much, but on the four-wheel drive models of the Frontier, it doesn't let you be in radar cruise control in 4 high, if I remember correctly. Or it was acting weird in my review that I remember. So that shouldn't affect this vehicle since it's 2-wheel drive only. Behind the steering wheel, we have 2 analog gauges on the left for the tachometer, the engine revs on the right for miles per hour, as well as kilometers per hour. I believe this truck is also sold in Canada, where you guys go by KMs. But even if you want a digital speedometer, it does show up as an option on the large MID. Even though these are cloth seats, they're very comfortable. I was in the Kona inline the other week, and those had cloth seats as well, and they had just a real scratchy, awful texture to them. These have a really smooth and comfortable texture to them. So even though it's not the leather that you get in the Pro 4X, these are very comfortable seats overall. And on this SV grade, I do get power seat on the left side. The right side is all going to be manual, of course. I'm going to flip it back into neutral because that vibration at a stop is annoying. It kind of pulses with the engine, like vroom, vroom, vroom. Just accelerating there. The 9-speed auto is really smooth from gear to gear. You really don't know that it's shifting It's a very quiet operation under normal acceleration. Got a little gold badge Avalon. I didn't even know they made gold badge Avalons for that 3rd generation. As for the armrests, they are both soft touch and my arms are quite comfortable sitting on them. And the rest of the vehicle is pretty much hard touch. I didn't go over this when I was parked earlier, but the dash over here is actually soft touch and you do have some stitching in there. It's a nice touch. Now we're up to speed about 60 miles an hour. You hear a little bit of wind noise on the mirrors, but overall it's very impressive. We're gonna get around this Avalon and just punch it. I feel like in the Pro 4X it was much louder. I don't know what the difference would be, or maybe I'm just not remembering correctly, but even at full tilt there, this engine sounded pretty tame and quiet under heavy acceleration. So I think it's time to summarize the Nissan Frontier. Well, finally we got a redesign and they did it wonderfully well, Nissan did. The design is there on the outside. It's a very handsome pickup truck, even on this lesser expensive grade compared to the Pro 4X I had a few months back. Yes, that Pro 4X looks like a ute that's all hopped up on aftermarket goods from Australia, but this vehicle looks just like a normal pickup truck. You're not going to get crazy looks. It's just going to get the job done at a very affordable price in the mid-30s for this SV grade. You get the long bed, you get the more usable interior with the crew cab. I'm happy with the safety features, radar cruise control, blind spot. I'm happy with the radio features or the infotainment with the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Also the connectivity in here, you have 4 USB ports, 2 of them being USB-C. The only thing that feels a little off is that back seat wouldn't stay up. So I don't know if this is a pre-production model or if some other journalist broke it. I don't know, but overall, very, very happy with the new Frontier. The engine's great, transmission's great, it's handsome and affordable, and it has lots of power. So I'm gonna end it there. Let me know if you have any questions on this long wheelbase crew cab Nissan Frontier SV. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button per usual. Subscribe for more Nissan Infiniti as well, news and reviews, as well as all Japanese and Korean auto news and reviews. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.